Thank you to those of you that left 5-star reviews at iTunes, and please remember that I have a free newsletter that you can sign up for at IELTS.com. This week, we are looking at part 1 of a recent exam. I'll read the questions that appeared in this section to you now. So the examiner asked, "Can you tell me your full name, please? What should I call you? Where are you from? Do you work or are you a student? Where do you typically do your studying? Do you find it easier to study in certain environments? What do you do on weekday evenings?" As always, the model response you will hear in this episode was scripted by an active IELTS examiner at the Band 9 level. Let's go ahead and listen to the model now.
Can you tell me your full name, please?
Of course, my full name is Ryan Higgins.
What should I call you?
You can just call me Ryan.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from a suburb of Bangkok in Thailand.
Do you work or are you a student?
I'm currently a student here in Liverpool. I'm pursuing my economics degree at the University of Liverpool.
Where do you typically do your studying?
I usually study in the university library, as it provides a quiet environment for concentration. Occasionally, I also study in my dorm room to change things up.
Do you find it easier to study in certain environments?
Yes, I definitely find it easier to study in quiet environments, like the library or my dorm room. I find that the absence of distractions allows me to focus better on my studies and be more productive.
What do you do on weekday evenings?
On weekday evenings, I usually follow a routine that balances relaxation and productivity. I spend a few hours studying or working on assignments, and then I like to unwind by going for a jog or practicing some mindfulness exercises. Afterwards, I often enjoy a good book or catch up with friends over a video call to wind down before bedtime.
Thank you.
Okay, this week we are going to do a speech shadowing exercise that uses the response to the question, "Where do you typically do your studying?" I'll read this portion of the sample again to you now just to refresh your memory. So the examiner asks, "Where do you typically do your studying?" I usually study in the university library, as it provides a quiet environment for concentration. Occasionally, I also study in my dorm room to change things up. Okay, we will now start the speech shadowing exercise. Remember that you can access the full version of this speech shadowing exercise by becoming a paid subscriber. For $25 per month, you can get access to the full YouTube playlist, and you can listen to this playlist as a podcast. So this means you can train for IELTS speaking while commuting to work, while jogging, or anytime you have a quiet moment at home. Look to the description area of this episode to find a join link. Okay, if this is your first time doing a speech shadowing exercise, remember you should actually be speaking aloud as you listen. So you will first hear a portion of the sample, and then you will be given a pause within which to repeat what you have heard. And the point of the exercise is to try to adjust your pronunciation to sound as much like the model as possible. And in doing these exercises for just 20 minutes a day, I guarantee you will see noteworthy improvement in only a few weeks' time. Okay, let's go ahead and start this week's speech shadowing exercise. Enjoy.
Where do you typically do your studying?
I usually study in the university library, as it provides a quiet environment for concentration. As it provides a quiet environment for concentration. Environment for concentration. 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 Environment for concentration. As it provides a quiet as it provides a quiet environment for concentration. I usually study in the university library. Usually study I usually study in the university library. I usually study in the university library, as it provides a quiet environment for concentration. Occasionally, I also study in my dorm room to change things up. To change things up. Things up. Things up. To change things up. I also study in my dorm room. Dorm room. Dorm room. I also study in my dorm room. Occasionally, I also study in my dorm room to change things up. I hope you found that exercise helpful. Remember to visit IELTS.com to sign up for the free newsletter. Thank you for leaving a like or a 5-star review on this episode, and join me again next week for another speech shadowing exercise.